Hey everyone, welcome to Bono's Gaming. Today we're going to dive into something a bit different but still just as fascinating. It's the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses. I've been using these for about 3 months now, and there's a lot to love here, but they're not completely frustration free. Let's get into it. First up, let's talk the specs of these specs. Specs on specs! If you want to read through the specs for yourself while I talk about them, I have an affiliate link in the description below that takes you to the product page, and that does help support the channel at no added cost to you. So thank you for your support. These glasses come with a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera that shoots higher than 1080p video. It's actually 1536 by 2048, and I'm not even sure what to call that. It's not 2K, it's not 4K. It's also in a 3:4 aspect ratio instead of 9:16 and at 30 frames per second, so some interesting choices there. And if you've been researching these, you already discovered that the video is shot in portrait mode or vertical mode and cannot be switched to landscape mode. But more on the camera later. It has 32 gigabytes of internal storage, which equates to over 500 photos or more than 100 30-second videos. And these can be set to transfer to your phone automatically when the glasses are in their case. It's this case right here, by the way. You charge the glasses through these. It's actually a really well-crafted case. The Ray-Ban Metas are powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon AR1 Gen 1 chip, which seems to run very smoothly and doesn't get warm. The audio has been enhanced with 5 microphones for better voice capture and spatial audio, and the speakers are about 50% louder with double the bass compared to the last gen Ray-Ban Stories. Battery life is about 4 hours on a single charge, although in my testing I've gotten anywhere from 2 to 5 hours, and the case itself provides up to 8 more charges. And while they are water resistant, rated IPX4, I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on how well this works. Personally, I would not be wearing these out in the rain or the snow, and maybe not even to sit by the pool just to be safe. They come with clear lenses or tinted lenses, and yes, you can get prescription lenses put in these for an additional cost. Personally, I went with the transition lenses so I could wear them at work for shooting unboxing videos or hanging out in the house, but also wear them outside on a sunny day to play catch with my son or go for a hike with the family or dance with my daughter in the backyard. They do go from clear to dark pretty quickly. I'd say it takes 15 to 20 seconds, but when you go back inside, it takes 2 to 4 minutes to return to fully clear. So you may just feel a little ridiculous walking around the grocery store in your tinted glasses for a couple of minutes, but it'll be okay. Now, what can these glasses do? Well, they're essentially a hands-free camera, music player, and personal assistant. You can snap photos, record videos, or even live stream directly to Instagram or Facebook with just a tap or voice command. But it is the integration with Meta AI where things get very interesting. You can ask about simple things, of course, like the weather or set a timer or control your music, all while keeping your hands free. But it can also do more complex things like mathematical calculations, tip calculations, or maybe you're in front of a historical building. You can say, "Look and tell me more about this location," and it may come back with a summary of the history of the building. But there are some questions even AI can't answer, and as we navigate into 2025, many of us feel overwhelmed by the expectation to make dramatic life changes. Whether it's feeling stuck emotionally or anxious about falling behind, these pressures can be tough, and that's where my sponsor, BetterHelp, comes in. BetterHelp offers therapy that's fully online, making it easier and more comfortable to get started. With over 30,000 licensed therapists, you can match with someone who understands what you are going through. Maybe you're dealing with complex holiday emotions, nostalgia for the way things were, or just the stress of returning to quote-unquote normal life. A therapist can help you untangle external pressures from your internal values, develop personalized timelines, and process feelings of inadequacy or comparison. With BetterHelp, you can switch therapists anytime at no extra cost, ensuring you find the right fit for you. They have a 4.5 rating on Trustpilot with over 7,000 reviews, so you know you're in good hands. If you want to start fresh any day of the year, click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/BonosGaming for a 10% discount on your first month of therapy. Let's make this year about genuine self-improvement, not just meeting expectations. You can even make your therapy call with your smart glasses. The audio quality is surprisingly good for glasses. As long as your environment isn't too loud, these are perfect for podcasts, music, or taking calls without whipping out your phone. And that 5-mic array does a fantastic job of filtering out background noise so the person on the other end only hears your voice. Plus, the design is sleek so they don't scream tech gadget, they just look like regular Ray-Bans. In fact, I wore these for over 2 months at work before anyone even noticed they weren't regular glasses. And you might be saying, okay, but Bo, how do these integrate into daily life? Well, I've found them to be incredibly useful. Imagine you are playing with your kids in the yard, at a concert, or on a hike, or just walking your dog. You can capture moments without putting a screen between you and your world. And that for me has been the biggest draw. With kids, you can't always pause the action to pull out your phone and record something. Also, with kids, sometimes you need both of your hands. This frees you up to take that quick home video while still seeing your family with your own eyes and engaging with them with your own hands. It also keeps the temptation of checking that email or social media notification that's waiting on your phone's home screen. Let it wait, because I have a family, you have a family, and we need to spend quality time with them. But that's really not all. I can see applications for all kinds of things, like cyclists or runners who want to stay aware of their surroundings while enjoying some nice background music. It can also help you with other obscure things. For example, I put about 5 or 6 different teas out on the kitchen counter and said, which of these teas will mix well together? And it took a picture of all the different flavored teas, and within seconds it recommended different combinations of tea describing their various tastes and what kind of mood they were for. Like, drink this combination to calm down, or drink this one to focus. I tried one of them and it was pretty delicious. For professionals, these glasses can be a game changer in meetings. For example, you can say, hey Meta, can you look and summarize this document for me? And within a few seconds, it will give you a breakdown of what the document is talking about and summarize each section. In fact, it just did it and summarized what was on my teleprompter right now. It can also quickly capture whiteboard sessions for you to review later. You can even ask it things like, what should I wear to my business meeting today? And it will give you multiple ideas that are appropriate. Or you can take it a step further and say, what kind of pants should I wear with this shirt? And it will give you options based on the color and style of the shirt. It's really quite impressive. I even use it in my meetings to listen to chill lo-fi music in the background to help pass the time. No one else has a clue I'm doing that. They can't hear it, and it doesn't look like I'm wearing headphones, so no one is the wiser. For those of us who are always on the go, the AI assistant is handy for quick questions or asking it to remember, like your hotel room, for example, or where you parked. They can even translate things for you like signs into your own language, although only certain languages are available right now. And you can do all of that while your phone is tucked away neatly in your pocket or purse. They've truly become a part of my daily gear. I put them on every morning for my walk to work. They help me listen to music, they help me research. I use them to make phone calls, which again works really well. People cannot tell I'm calling from my glasses. I've even used it to entertain my family in the car by having it feed me things like Disney movie trivia. However, there's always room for improvement, so here's some things that could be better. First, these weigh about 50 grams. They're pretty lightweight, especially considering how much tech is inside and how sleek they are. But after wearing these for 3 or 4 hours, their weight is noticeable. Not bad, but noticeable, and they will most likely leave little indentation marks on your nose, or may even start to bother your ears slightly. Depends on the person, of course. Next gen, I would love to see them shave off some of the weight and bulk, even if it's just 5 to 10%. And I don't want to be over dramatic about it, it's really not that bad, but they are heavier than normal glasses, and I just want you to be aware of that. The battery life, while decent, could use a boost, especially for those long days out. Of course, if these are your prescription glasses, you can continue to wear them even if the battery dies, that's not a problem. And they will charge to 50% in the case in just 22 minutes, which is pretty fast. So I think that that's really good, but more battery life is always better. I love to see a firmware update that continues to refine the AI capabilities, maybe adding more natural language processing or better contextual understanding. For example, back in December, I asked, when are the Game Awards? And it told me the date and location of the Game Awards, but not the time. So while it was still listening, I said, what time is it? And it told me the current time instead of what time the Game Awards were happening. If I randomly ask what time it is, that's really helpful, but in the context of the conversation, that's not what I wanted to know. And that's just one example that happened to me, but you're supposed to be able to have a conversation with Meta AI to discuss a topic, and that actually brings me to another frustration. It does continue to listen for a few seconds, but often by the time I've processed the answer it's given and formed a follow-up question, it's already turned itself off. I'd like to see the option to set how long you want it to listen for a response, maybe in 5, 10, and 15-second intervals. Also, sometimes it simply won't answer your question. I've seen a bug recently where I ask it about the weather for today and it just doesn't respond. Now you can go into the MetaView app on your phone and see a history of things that you've asked it, and me asking what is the weather today shows up in the history, but the glasses themselves never responded. Also, sometimes it won't give an answer because it says it may contain insensitive language. For example, hey Meta, what's the largest cat breed in the world?
Actually, I can't continue. My response may contain insensitive language.
The answer is the Maine Coon, by the way, in case you were wondering, and they can weigh up to 30 pounds. Now that is a pretty large domestic cat, but I don't see anything insensitive about that, and so it just seems odd to me. I can even reword the question and make it very specific. For example, hey Meta, is the Maine Coon the largest domestic cat breed?
Actually, I can't continue. My response may contain insensitive language.
The answer to that question is either yes or no, so I don't see what's insensitive about that either. And I am a very curious person. I'm an Enneagram 5, for those of you who are into that kind of thing. So when I ask a question, it's frustrating to be told, I can't tell you because the answer might be sensitive. I don't care. I ask the question because I genuinely need an answer. Now this hasn't happened very often, but I ask a lot of questions and it has happened more than a few times. It'll be interesting to see in the coming months with Meta's recent policy changes regarding free speech if this policy will change as well. In terms of hardware, future iterations could benefit from a display for AR features in the lenses. The first 2 questions I get from people when I tell them about these glasses is, oh, you're recording me right now? Well, no, I'm not. There's a light that comes on when you're recording. Plus, that would destroy the battery if the camera was always on. And the second question is, so you can see your text in there? And no, I can't, unfortunately, but I'd like to. I really hope that this happens in the next version. I don't want something too obtrusive, but some simple text for notifications, messages, or directions could be very helpful, especially in louder environments where it's harder to hear the speakers. Also, enhancing the camera's dynamic range and particularly its white balance could make photos and videos even more professional looking. Right now, they often turn out looking too warm and yellow for my taste. Now, it's not terrible, but the white balance is noticeably off in my opinion. And it goes without saying that it would be really nice to say, hey, shoot a 60-second clip in landscape mode, and be able to capture stuff horizontally as well. Also, regarding the camera, it's off-center. It's on the left-hand side, right over here, and you can't see if your shots are framed correctly, so it takes some practice to get your photos framed right. And to make this a little worse, the light that alerts people that a picture is being taken is on the right side. So every single time I try to take a picture of someone, they look at the light instead of the camera, and it makes the framing seem even more off. Maybe I should just start saying lights, camera, action every time I want to take a picture. One other thing I want to see changed is that right now if I say take a picture and send it to my wife, It takes the picture and then sends my wife a link to a meta site where she can then view the picture. And that frustrates me for two reasons. One, tapping on a link is an extra step that no one wants to do. And two, it raises even more privacy concerns than people already have about these. Why does my picture need to be uploaded to Meta's servers at all? Now, if you want to set up Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp on here, it will send your picture to your contact within those apps. But no one in my family uses those apps. I just want to send a normal text message. I'm sure there is a technical reason for this, but it's a problem that I hope can be resolved in the next couple of years, because I would use that feature so much to send photos and videos to friends and family, but I don't want to make them click on something and take them to some Meta server somewhere. So for now, I take the photo and it transfers to my phone once the glasses are in their case, and then I text it out manually. To wrap up, the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses have genuinely impressed me in many ways. They blend fashion with function in a way that feels like a glimpse into the future. They're not perfect, but they are a significant step forward in wearable tech. If you're someone who loves capturing life on the go, needs hands-free assistance, or just wants a stylish piece of tech, these glasses are worth considering. And I do have affiliate links again in the description below that help support the channel at no added cost to you. Thanks for watching. If this review was helpful to you, please consider liking, subscribing, or even becoming a channel member. And let me know in the comments why you think these glasses would fit into your daily routine. Until next time, stay kind and encouraging out there, and I'll catch you on the flippity flip.